Hey everybody, just trying to get all the little things set up here. Get started in a moment. Still need to find or make some different, I guess, background graphic. That silly thing. Every time I see it, I'm like, I need to fix it, and then I don't get around to it. I got two thoughts. A couple nights ago, I was working on a track and kind of want to get back to it, or we can just start fresh. Let me load it up. Let's go see if I want to still play with it or not. I think it's still on the new project list. And for anybody that is out there and might want a good laugh, I've had this laptop stand that I've been using. Oh, was it this one? Familiar theme. Anyway, I had this laptop stand I've been using that's got like an adjustable height, and you can kind of turn and angle it, but it isn't terribly secure unless it's totally straight for like the arm part and then the stand underneath it. So I was just thinking a second ago, it's like, I think a cardboard box would be more stable. So I now have my laptop on a cardboard box, which it seems like it's a little wobbly, but it's much more level than that silly stand. Okay, we need. There we go. Get some audio. Needed to get the patch bay set up right. So I guess the question is, do I like this enough? Do I like this enough? Or do I consider this cheating to take something I did a couple days ago? I don't know. I really like it. I want to take some time to go back to it, but let's start new. And if we have time after, we can come back, maybe play around with it. What are we trying to do today? I almost grabbed my M8 to mess with, but I was like, I'll just grab the MPC again. Is my camera slowly twisting? It's fine. It is what it is. Oh, we had an internal error. Great. I seem to see that fairly frequently, switching between projects. I don't know why, but let's go to. I haven't checked out anything much in the hazy pack. Yeah, I went past it. It was like hazy dreams or something. Yeah, or hazy days. Let's go see what we got for drums. Kind of like the chords here. I don't know. Just trying to set that. Start. let's just get the bass in. We'll see what we think about it. Really? I was that far off? Weird. All right, there we go. I just checking out, trying to get like some of the stuff figured out for YouTube, some of the statistics, and it didn't want to go. Apparently I have a button I can click to tell YouTube to start sending advertisements or something. I don't know, whatever. Says we're in E minor. Let's give it a try. See what we can get going here. I'd almost go for another organ or electronic piano, but let's see if there's any leads that pop out. Flubbed note in there. I can feel it. We'll fix it. Let's double this up. And an extra one in there. Cut that stuff out. What do we want to do with this second part? Let's cut it out. We'll try going up higher. It needs like one, like that little note in there, I think. A little late. All right. Gonna dirty this up. Trying to figure out how toasty I want this. Maybe it's too much. Keep it a little more subtle. We can find for some kind of pad here. I'm gonna get I think the lead will work for like 1 or 2 bars, or 1 or 2 like phrases, but we need something else. I don't want to listen to it forever. I just gave myself a stuck note. It's hard to tell. I was just looking at the screen. I'm like, man, Flavor Pro looks super washed out, but the main screen looks fine. It's close, but I don't know. It feels a little in the annoying side. Let's try... sort of tremolo, maybe? No. Maybe that with a wah? Modulation. Not amp sim. I don't even know. Is this a pad at this point? Maybe. See if there's anything else in Cloud Supply worth checking out. Probably different sound. Definitely starting to get into that weird dissonant space. So I kind of dig that. It just might be too low to hear. maybe. See if we can find a E-piano organ sound that might fit. It's a little too tiny. That might be it. Maybe I should move this up an octave. Maybe. Let's double up again. Because I feel like... oh. Well, I want to delete out a lot of this. Find something else to put in. Sort of. I don't know. There's like, it's like a little bit, it just needs like a little extra note or something in there. Maybe on this bar, start on something else. I don't think that helped. Maybe it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Let's go back to the drums. Where... I should also check how long this is, because currently I probably could play for 4 bars, or maybe we undo that and then do this. Well, it must be a note on, so we'll need to extend it out. Maybe, I don't know. Let's explode this. We'll get to that next part. Do. Delete that track. We'll go look for some more sounds in a second. I think I want a little bit more percussion or something, just to have for options. Or just kind of fill in a little bit. Synth. We just use it for like one little blip in there. That should get us most of that stuff. Let's go back out. Let's stop everything for a second. Let's see, what other things do we have that might... I kind of dig that. Let's load that to a new track. We'll see. Probably need to start figuring out the mix in a second because we're getting a little clipped here, but try that again. probably have this go up in volume over the 8 bars. We'll worry about it though after. Kind of dig that. Find a spot to put one of these, maybe 2. It's gonna need some more oomph to it, clearly. All right, first things first. We're gonna move this in the track order before I go explode it. Then we'll start dealing with mixing. Let's close for a second. I gotta see where the heck we are. We'll go to 5. Can we actually just say the position? Nice, we can just type it in. Good to know. I should have been doing that plenty of times before. All right, we're gonna explode it. It's fine, stop everything. Is it Felipe or Philip? But hello, how are you doing, man? Hope you're having a good day. I'm in the northern hemisphere and trying to stay warm. Hopefully you're warm, perfectly temperate. Let's see, we'll delete this track. Delete. And now we get to do all the fun renaming here. Oh, so I'm way off. I was guessing. Well, welcome from New Hampshire in the United States. Got a few folks in my Discord that are in Japan, and was just asking folks if there was fun places that they would suggest to go visit and see stuff. Because I know somebody that's going over there, and they're like, I want to go see Tokyo and cool stuff, but I've never been, so someday I'll get out there. I think my wife and I want to go out. How do I like MPC firmware 3 so far? I am still fighting with it a little bit. There's a lot that I do like about it, and I do think there's a number of things that are pretty solid updates for it. There are some things that I just know I can do faster in firmware 2. So, but I did a track a day in firmware 2 2 or 3 times. I did at least like 180 tracks out of doing that, because I would just go for like 2 or 3 months at a time. It just forced myself to keep working on my workflow and stuff. So it's been, for me, the struggle's been more trying to unlearn some things that I used to do in firmware 2 and starting to think about what's the right way to do it in firmware 3. I do miss having, well, the biggest problem I have is with the programs now being attached to the tracks. I used to be a big track exploding type of person, or just keep assigning different tracks to the same program, because now it duplicates the track, if you're using plugins, you can get yourself into trouble very quickly because it'll just like use too much memory. There are a few workarounds. You can take some MIDI tracks and point a MIDI track at a synth track or something, but then you get into trouble with like muting and other stuff. So I think for new users or people coming from a DAW, firmware 3 is going to be much easier to figure out and understand what's going on. I think for folks that are used to the MPC space, like myself, it's just there's a bunch of things that are just, I will say, annoying changes. I think they're perfectly fine gripes for people to have, but I don't know. I suspect that there's a overarching vision for what we'll start seeing in like future hardware. Don't know when it'll come, but at some point I think we'll start seeing some more arrangement-based ways to put things together instead of song-based. But for now, I'm still using the song structure to put stuff together. I do think the song mode is probably the most obnoxious thing in firmware 2 to explain to old or to new MPC users. It's like, yeah, you have to have the exact same track and program across all of your sequences, and some people don't. It's easy to get yourself in like that twisted trap. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by mostly manually, but they have taken feedback from people that were complaining about how track mutes were or were not working, switching between sequences. So like if I come into, I'll stop it for a second. If I come into mute here, there's a couple things that are actually like, these are solid improvements, even if you gotta at least kind of be aware of them. Is one, you can now choose if you're track muting events or audio. So the events, if you want to track mute the MIDI, you can make the MIDI get muted, and then if you have like a reverb or something, it'll keep going on afterwards. And I know like this was a setting that you would put into the MPC in your preferences, which you could do like either or. You could either do event muting or audio muting. We now can do both, and you can actually interchange them. So I can tap like a mute. I can mute these, and it might be hard to see on the screen, but there's like a little MIDI symbol beside the M. I can then switch to audio, so I can both MIDI and audio mute independently, and I can see them here and record all of that stuff to tracks, which is super flexible and allows you to actually do the varied types of muting in a super fast, super powerful way. So like this is the kind of stuff that it worked like the way I wanted it to on the MPC 1000 and like some of the other MPCs. Having to kind of make that choice in MPC firmware 2, and it worked a little irregularly. There was definitely some bugs that I don't know if they fixed it in 2.15 or not. I didn't go back and look, but there's some things that were oddities for how it operated. There's also this little gear menu that allows you to come in and program effectively or set configurations for how you want track mutes to work. So you have like track mute state per sequence. So like it will carry over from sequence to sequence, you can have it like carry on for all sequences, or you can have a track mute state per sequence. I like it with per sequence so that I can, if I'm just trying to do some like quick arrangement after I've got like my stack of everything running, I can turn this on, and then I can basically just keep copying sequences and just have whatever track mute state that I want. The track mute events write automation, you can so you can both automate your track mutes if you want, and you can also have them per sequence. These two, I think I might be causing myself some heartburn when I'm accidentally writing track mute automation in some spaces, but I'm gonna have to think about this the second option a little bit. You have track mute and solo events are undoable, so that you can do them and then hit undo to take them off. It's kind of cool. Use track colors. That's just whether it's gonna use your colors on the pads here, and then so like you could organize them to be different colors per type of like percussion, bass, whatever. And we have solo behavior for single or multi, whether or not you want to be able to just tap one solo and just only hear that, or do you want to be able to solo multiple things at the same time? So I'm super digging that they've taken a lot of that, and like some of these were like either configuration things or just they weren't available. I think this is, depending on how you're making tracks, this might be like a whole bunch of things that's a lot of good for you. Beyond that, I mean, I don't know how much you've like dug into it or checked it out, but the way this started for the betas was not very good. There was like a very frustrating to take some of the old styles for how I would put stuff together, and they've at least made a lot of changes, so it's pretty flexible and can meet a lot of different track mute types, scenarios, something like that. All right, I feel like I probably need to deal with some of the output here. Like we're absolutely, yeah, we're way beyond 0 dB now. So let's do all the fun mix to -9 dB. Snares are way too loud. Probably. Hats look way too loud. I'm just eyeballing it first because there's so many things that need to get knocked down now. And this has been the problem that it's the only real problem I have with the track exploding the way it works now, because it basically each program I'll just show you what the problem is, at least in my mind, is so before in firmware 2 when you would explode a track, it would basically just take the events, but you'd still have the same program. Now when you explode a track, because of how this works, you're basically getting all of your channel strip and limiter and everything, so it can really change the sound, because if you're running it as one program, you're getting like your kicks and snares and hats and they're all mixed together, and you're getting the effect, just one set of effects chain here for your program, and it's all, I guess, balanced. Somebody's took the time to kind of do that. When you explode everything out, it's like, well, you have your compressor or whatever it is, you can all of a sudden find that your like hi-hats are like blowing out everything else. I suspect what they probably should be doing is moving these effects to a send return group and then routing the programs that you explode out. I think that would actually solve the problem. I'm not going to bother doing that manually right now. So instead I'm ham-fistedly using the mixer, but it's fine. These seem okay. Bass seems all right. We're probably at the back end here. These need to come down. As far as I haven't done anything recently trying to open an old project. I had like in the middle of the beta and it seemed to work okay. I usually don't get into like doing anything like super complicated. I still have like MPC 1000 brain or something, or earlier, where I don't know, often I'll just use like I'll take like 4 samples or loops and make something with that. I've been trying to force myself to use some of the synths more and things, so I'm certainly using more memory, but I have loaded stuff. one thing I've told a few folks that have reached out to me that like either know or are friends or whatever that have been asking is I think a lot of people are just assuming that the software does not work with firmware 3. It actually does. So even though you've got the software on 2.5, a sort of nice side effect is even if you've got firmware 3 on, if you go to controller mode on your MPC and then go hook it up to your computer is going to boot up into firmware 2.15, so you can still load all of your stuff in the computer at least. Maybe it's not quite ideal, but if you're worried about things not getting translated over quite right, I would definitely say like check that out. And as far as I know, like I've been able to upgrade and downgrade no problem. So if you needed to go back to firmware 2, whatever version, you certainly can. I have found going from a couple of the betas that there has been a few things I wasn't able to load from an older beta. So like that's something that I've got some projects I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with. But I mean, we can always render out to stems, I guess, if we needed to. So there is still a rendering audio mixdown bug that I continue to hit. Probably see that in a few minutes if I gotta start sequencing this out. So we can crank the volume up a bit higher now, and we're not digitally distorting. I'm not sure I have everything quite mixed the way I want yet. We'll get to it. All right, I did have one other thing I wanted to do. Yeah, it was this one. So I said I wanted to have this kind of start low and come in higher. Let's go automation. We'll just hit the draw pencil here. Whoop. Come on. Let's see how quiet it is at the beginning. That's pretty quiet. Where do we start hearing it? It's closer to what I wanted to do. I might still add a filter. See how it sits in the mix though. You can roll backwards and forwards without issue. I shouldn't say that 100%. The thing that you'll want to probably be cognizant of, and this is what happens with a lot of different hardware units, is you do want to, they always suggest that you'll do a preferences or settings reset because they don't know what state things are going to be in. So if you have specific settings that you need, I would probably, well, two thoughts. One, I would write down or take like screenshots or use your camera to take pictures of your settings that you know are like pretty important. Get that, like, just so you know what they are for the different firmware versions so that you can go set them back the way that you want. The other suggestion I have is it can be a good idea to go name your projects with like, you know, V2 or V3. And I would always say, do not, like, if you load in a version 2, do not save back on top of it. Save it as a brand new file. Put like a V3 on it or something so that if you ever need to go back to your V2 version, you can. Barring that, if you don't want to do that, like, take and back up all of your projects someplace so that you just know that you've got a copy of it that you can, I mean, backing up's a good idea anyway, but knowing that you have something you can go fall back on if you needed to would be a good idea. Certainly I have on my SD card and the USB that's in here for the USB drive, I try and keep a copy of all the firmware versions myself, just in case I ever need to go back to any of them to go do anything. So, I mean, just a few. It's my friendly advice from having been in this space for so long and getting frustrated losing stuff, or you update something and all of a sudden you're toast. Yeah, there's the problem with the settings is there's always like one or two little things that you'll be sitting there like, what the heck is going on? And it's just buried in there, and you just don't remember that you were tweaking something at one point, and the system just keeps acting weird. It's the track mute was in firmware 2 was the one that like would drive me nuts, because I forget that I set it one way, and then I'd have certain projects that expected it to work one way versus the other, which is why like under here, like these track mute settings and stuff, I'm super happy to see this exposed at the project level so that you can actually make these changes. Anyway, let's see if I go back to that lead that I muted a while ago. How annoyed am I by it? Oh, because I actually need to load it up if I want to mix it. It's kind of loud. Push it down. I was doing this at the beginning of the stream and was like, I don't mind it for like a bar or two, but I think it's too much for listening to the whole time. All right, what are we doing? Got to think through how long I want this to be is a question. How much effort do I want to do in track muting, which is going to be fairly low. I want to plow through this kind of quickly. I've got like, I don't know, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes left, and I would like to try and get to the time to do. I ended up getting some of the native instrument plugins because I actually did a PSA video explaining what you need to know if you go buy them and how to install them, where to get them and stuff, because all of that stuff was not super clear. So I do have them on my MPC already. There's two types. One is your general expansion pack. That's Hazy Days and Faded Reels are both the MPC expansion type. So you're going to put that in your expansions folder, and not a problem. The other one is the plugins, and the plugins I'm quite sure are using the advanced key groups mode to do all the fancy stuff that they're doing, and we can load tons of key groups, but it's a little disappointing that they probably do use the key groups, but if they are part of that 8 maximum plugin limit. So if you want to try and load more, it's kind of a bummer. But yeah, you can go, basically you go onto Native Instruments website, you go add it to your cart, you pay for it. They're going to send you an email that's going to have your license or your keys, the key codes for it. You then load up the InMusic app, click the add product button, and you just put those codes in. It will register them to your InMusic account, and then from there, the plugins, you just boot up your MPC, go into the activation and tell it to do the activate and then download. You'll get them. It takes a while to download and do the extraction and all that, but they will come down. The expansion packs, once you get them registered in the app, you have to go click a download button. You open up it'll have like a open in folder or something, and you just copy the folders out to your expansion folder. So it's not like too bad to mess with. But could be smoother. The big thing that I think is just frustrating a lot of folks who already own deeply into the Native Instruments expansions and plugins. They're not giving any discounts right now to folks that already own this stuff and want to have it on their MPC. But I also get it. They had to go redo all of I'm sure they had to go change all those things from like contact plugins or instruments or whatever and port them over to the MPC style. So it's probably not, it wasn't an easy migration from Contact to how Akai has everything set up, because they had to, like, if you go in, what do I have? I got one of them loaded here. Yeah, Cloud Supply. So if you go look, like they're using the air diff delay and air compressor. So they had to, instead of whatever the native instrument equivalent was for their delay compressor, they had to go figure out, they had to have somebody go in and figure out like what was a equivalent or close enough for that stuff to work. So I'm sure it was a lot of work. So let's just do this. I'm going to do what I've been doing the last few days here, and we'll just go A, and I'll figure out what we want to do for, this will probably end up just being intro kind of stuff. 8 bars is an awful long time to go for an intro. Let's get rid of bass. That leads just like too much. What do we want? Motion pad. Let us, I'm going to copy it and then let's do some automation recording. Because I don't want the automation recorded into the next part. I'm actually, before I get into any of this, let's go save. I'm going to lose my mind if I have it crash on me or something. Be like, okay, I guess I'm done for the day. What is it? 24th jam, 24. All right, we'll save that, let it go, do its thing. All right, so I'd like to get like some of the kicks here. Oh, the right button wasn't, the read write button I don't think was here earlier. No, it was. It's on some of the FX pages where it gets annoying. So I'm going to turn right on. We'll get timing correct on, time division, quarter note. So like when we lead into bar 5, we'll come in with the snare and drums at least. All right, so that gets us kind of like a lead in going into track B, which should have that open. Let's go bass. We'll keep it a little light. Let's copy this, and then maybe we'll do like a half bar automation again. Copy it to C without automation in it. The reason why I'm doing this ahead of time is once you bake the automation, the track mute automation in there, you're kind of like, every time you copy, you have to decide if you're going to delete it or leave it, which isn't what I want to be stuck trying to figure out. Do we want pianos? Let's go for the electric here. I still want to do B first. Let's add in some more percussion back here. So we'll keep it easy. Get the ride. All right. You don't lose your projects if you go from 2 to 3, but if you load it, I would make sure you save it with like a V3 or something so that you have your old version 2 project in case you need to go back. Because once you do save the project as project 3, you can't load it in firmware 2. So that's like one thing that's always moving forward. Either do that or just back up all of your projects. Because, yeah, I'd hate for people to get stuck where it's like you load it up a version 2 project into version 3 and then you get hosed because you've overwritten. Although it does look like it has changed some of the file formats and stuff, but a few of the differences are the project files contain everything except for the samples and stuff in them. So you don't have like the sequences aren't saved separately. The track information and programs aren't saved they aren't saved separately. They're all like bundled up into like the one file. So anyway, I would just say like, just add like a V3 or something in there, or make sure you back up all of your stuff first just to have a copy of it so you don't accidentally overwrite something that's important and have it load in that causes you some heartburn. I don't want to mute the kicks here. I think we're at 7. I forget if you have to have overdub on. Let's just do it without overdub and see if it will write. Let's see if that's automated now. I know in firmware 2, you don't need to have overdub on to do that, but not sure. So we're at about 7. Okay, so as long as you got right on, you're good. The thing though that's easy with this is it's easy to forget that you've got right on, and then you start recording other automation you did not mean to. I've done this like trying to do mixer adjustments and stuff, and then all of a sudden the faders are going up and down on the mixer. So yeah, just make sure you know that you want to be in right mode. Okay, we'll go to C here. Let's go to mute. I don't know why the percussion carried over. Oh, maybe it's just the echo. All right. Probably a good point at like 7 for a bit of a drop. Let's go. Actually, I should start halfway, right? Yeah. Oh, I forgot to copy this first. Okay. The way to back out of this will be to copy sequence 0, 1 to D. Maybe this is why I should have made multiple copies. Because I don't want that automation baked in. All right. So we've got here, I can go hit the timeline and see. So when we're coming into D, we got 1, 2, 3, and then the extra one on the next page. So currently, this is all muted. What do we want to explore? Okay, let's go to the other kicks now. Do percussion here. Why are you doing this? This is where I get stuck, where it's like, what has happened here? Because I don't want any of that automation. Like, why is it doing this? probably wrote this out to track the sequencer track and didn't realize. This is where I start losing my mind. Let's go to D. Erase track. Can we do all? I have to go through every single one and do erase automation all. I think that's what I have to do. This is going to drive me. Oh, undo that. I don't want to erase the events. Let's see if this. We did these two. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this to me. Because when we carry over, it's not gonna. There's some, like, I wouldn't have expected it to do this, and I don't know why it's got automation. See, what in the world? I think it's because I've recorded automation in. It's just. This is working the way I expect it to. And then when we switch to D, it's coming in. I want it to stay here. I don't know why it's got all this automation here. What in the world is going on? This is where last time this happened, I was like, okay, I'm practically done with this mess, and I feel like I'm back to that. Okay, let's go. We're in track mute. We can see that there is a mute. I did an erase, automation, say all, delete it. It's gone. I don't know why it... I don't know why it's baking it in. This is another frustrating point for me, is there's not a good way to change between tracks while you're in this view. Like, you can go to Arranger, then go here, go back to Grid, but that just feels goofy to me. But yeah, I have to now come through and erase. I want to go see. Okay, let's just go see. I want to see if I accidentally recorded any automation into sequence 1. Because I don't think I did, but yeah, there's no. Why is it carrying automation over from here? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna delete this, and we'll start again. Clear, erase, erase, clear, clear. Oh, that's fine. I could just overwritten it. I'm doing this the goofiest way possible. Copy sequence. I'm gonna call it D. Onto 5, which is already D. Do it. So we're on 5 now. I'm gonna go in here. There's no track mute. I wonder if it's because I stopped. Like, if I I'm turning right off. I wonder if it's just because I happened to be like in the middle of the bar and I hit these events. Maybe that's what's causing it. I don't know. Anyway, so we're coming from C here. This is our state. We're gonna drop into. What is that? I'm gonna switch kicks. Do these. Maybe keep the snare going. Let's get rid of these. bring the bass. I'll bring the lead in halfway. Bring the piano. Okay, let's go back to right. Actually, before I do this, let's copy this to E. I think that was like the first mistake I made, was just not making the copy before I started editing it. All right. We'll bring in the lead here. What in the world? Why did it just mute? What is going on? Oh, I'm on C. No wonder it's doing weird stuff. Okay. Mute. See how important it is to be paying attention to what you're doing, guys? Copy sequence. Hold on. Do I have an E here? No. Why does it want to copy to 7? I don't know what I've done. We're going to copy over that. Okay. D. Mute. I said halfway through I want to bring the lead in. Okay. That's fine. E, we should probably just start thinking outro. Keep the... We've had this going for quite a while. Let's get rid of the electric piano. Let us drop these out. Just in case it's doing it. Okay. No, I need right on. Don't need right on yet. Take those out. All right, that's fine. I think we'll get halfway-ish. We'll take all the kicks and stuff out. Oh, it's not going to mute it because we're on the wrong mute type. So I need to do an audio mute for the bass because that note is... That sounded weird. Let's see if it goes okay. Yeah, it's in the space of trying to talk through what I'm doing, do it, and make sense of it. It becomes a trick, but I think I'm at the point where, let's just say like it's good enough. I'm in song mode. We'll hit record. Record. It will go A, B, C, D, E. This should. I think there might be a bug with having record on, so I'm just double tapping stop to get record off. We'll just play from the beginning, see how this goes. Oh, almost done with my tea. There we go. So I think this will be a good time to go back through and check mixing levels after I render it out to a new sequence. Probably save first, but... Hey, Alistar, how you doing? feel like I could make this go a little bit further, but it's kind of long already. And yeah, Doc, thank you for thank you for the kind words. It's a little bit of a whip on the bass there, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, we're going to go convert to sequence. I'm going to not include track mutes. So if you don't do this, it's going to get rid of all of... I don't know what's going to do because I have the double audio and event mute. We'll see what that does. But I want to make sure it takes all the notes out. But then if I wanted to, if I wanted to come in and play something different, like in those gaps, like I could, because otherwise, if you've got the track mutes in place, it leaves all the events there and the mutes on, so it doesn't send anything over, and then you can't play extra content. It's just kind of for me. I'm probably not going to do it, but because I don't think I have too much more time here. But let's listen to this from the start. We can now go. I can now go into the mixer as well. Kind of see what's going on here. Yeah, I almost thought to try and convince my wife that I should go to NAMM, but maybe next year. Gotta get her out to California anyway sometime. I need to turn right off. I was telling you guys this earlier. If I make any adjustments to the mixer that are just trying to be like mixer level adjustments and right is on, it's going to rate those to the track. And then when I play it back, I'll be like, why is this moving? So there's a whole bunch of little tiny things you just have to remember here. I wish there was like some notification of like what bar you were on here too. We still have that whoop on the bass. So this is an area where I will the bass is fine where it's at. So I'm gonna write the I'm gonna try and write some automation there. So we're gonna go. Let's go back like to bar 35. I will go to mix. We've got bass here. Don't play from start. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. This is where I wish. Oh, it's at 37. So I got to do that. If I'm going to do it from 35, I need to just start from here. It's probably a little too fast. Let's undo it. Rewind. 34. Let's try. Okay, I was expecting that to get written out. Why did it not record that as automation? Maybe I have a setting somewhere. I don't know. Other option. Well, let's make sure I don't. I stopped, went too far back. Okay. Let's go to 9. Mix. What did I do wrong with the bass here? Or is it coming in now? Did I mess myself up? Let's go back to the mix. All right, it's at about 9 dB, so I'm not going to worry about it. So what I'm going to do instead is to try and fix this. We're going to go to the bass track. We're going to see. That's weird that it still has a note, because it was at 37. It's supposed to not be playing. I don't know why there's a note here. Undo that, because that's not what I... Undo again. I don't know why it's selecting every other one. That's super weird. Okay, we'll just select the one. Go to delete. We're in automation, and that's why I'm doing this wrong. Delete the note up here, and get to the timeline. I just want to see from 35. Yeah, there's like a tail on here that just isn't carrying over. Let's do a add new mixer volume. So I don't know what I should do this, because I'm going to mess it up. I think the mixer's at like super close to 0 dB plus 35. Close enough. See if we can get this to work. Ooh, actually, I'm going to undo that. This might be the problem. This note ends prematurely. Let's fix that. So if we go back to 35. I'm on the right track, but that's not apparently going to fix it. So because we have a note off, we'll go, yeah, a long time ago I was working on making, fixing up some of the Super Monkey Ball drum and bass tracks, so they didn't like have that like quarter second to a half second snap to them. We could actually get it to start the sound. 35. Okay, that's actually fine. I'm not messing with that. Is a solution that I'm happy with. Where else? We want to keep... I just want to check levels a little bit more. Yeah, you can still change sequences. So I've got it selected. Doing next, next, next. So once it's finished, whatever it's done playing on the track, it will then move to the next one. So you can definitely string stuff together. Doing that, you also have next sequence, where you can just come in here and just tap the ones that you want to move between. So yeah, you've got a pretty good amount of ways to kind of get around. We still have that same problem. I heard that clip on the bass again. Okay, let's move over. Which one was it? It was probably like right here. I probably have this problem on all of them. I'm just choosing when to hear it. It is. Okay. It's going to be on. I can hear it now that I'm listening for it. So to fix it, I'm going to have to fix all of these gaps. Fortunately, there's not a ton of them, but let's just do it. I probably, if I had been hearing this before, the correct thing would have been to fix it in all the sequences before I started copying and pasting them and doing all this stuff, but we're here. I'd rather fix it while I'm thinking about it than come back later and be like, what the heck is going on? Okay. That seems better. Let's start like at 9. The next thing I need to figure out doing is getting the Yorgos mastering stuff in 3. Yeah, that's the reason why I also feel like it's mostly frustrating is it's got like the old style capacitive touch to it. So I mean, you get multiple fingers, but the accuracy on it's kind of poor. I know some people use a touch pencil and get like good results, but I don't know. I haven't bothered with that. I actually kind of want to drop the bass out here, which means let's undo that because I fixed the end there. Let's cut this one out, and then we'll nudge this one over because it's got the fixed tail. Okay. See if I like that. Yeah, the mobile phone stylus pencil's not bad. You can tell I just prefer fighting with this stuff than having real solutions, apparently. All right. I kind of feel like all of these are a little high. I don't mind it too much. Well, maybe not all of them. Like that one's a little high. That's a little high. Just knock it back a little bit. If I had more time, I think I'd be goofing around with some extra effects automation, but where are we going? Maybe just gonna, let's go to the output and we'll just stomp on everything with some see if multi-bank has any fun sound beefiness. Yeah, we lose everything. Or it was just that happened to be the transition. We want a super high low end. I'm waiting for it to get to the 9th bar. It's like super muddy. We're not doing that. I feel like soft clipper, maybe. It's making it too fuzzy. I don't like it. I'll have to work on getting some real effect mastering kind of stuff on the end. Do I think Akai will show a new MPC at NAMM? I have no idea. I suspect they want to keep interest on firmware 3 by itself, but I mean, this is just me making a wild guess. I mean, I think that if they're going to do it, what we really need to know is like, are they going to try and merge that they're clearly merging for a lot of the Force stuff over to the current MPC line. I personally would like to see if they did like a 64 pad MPC X that's kind of got like Force and other features. But the question will be, do they want us to own two Akai products? So you have your MPC and Force. Are they ditching the Force, or are they going to merge them together some more? I don't know. I'd kind of like, I'd like having. That was the one thing I liked about the Push 3. So I had the Force. I really liked it. I sold it because I thought the Push 3 was going to be what I wanted. I really liked having 64 pads on the Force. I really liked having 64 pads on the Push 3. And I really actually like the MPE and just like the way you can program stuff on it and do like chords and patterns there. It's much harder to do on just the 4x4 grid for pads. But yeah, I did not like the Push 3, so I returned it. And I never went back to getting another Force because it was like, well, it seems like it's kind of it would be perfectly fine for me, but kind of in the like, if I'm gonna spend the money, might as well wait and see what they got coming out. I would say, given some of the things I've hit coming back and doing some of this daily tracks, in the way that when you do like track explosion, or that each track wants its own program, you get yourself very quickly into a point with 2 gigs of memory now where it's just not enough to host all the plugins and stuff. So I don't even know if 4 gigs is enough for, like, I wouldn't, if they came up with a live 2 or a live 3 and the only thing it had is 4 gigs of memory, I don't think I'm bothering to pick it up. And the live the live 2 here does enough for me that I don't think I'd probably be looking for I do miss these 16 pad Q links on the MPC X. The OLED displays a nice to have, but the 16 Q links lets you go really fast for like programming key groups and stuff, or chopping and adjusting start and end points. It's fine to hit the Q link to kind of cycle between the 4 banks of Q links, but it takes you out of like the mind space. You have to keep remembering, okay, I got to push a button, then I have to go do this, and then what Q link group am I in? Whereas on the MPC X, because you've got all 16, you're just like, okay, like they're always in they're the same position. They're not changing when you're adjusting start and end points. So you can go much quicker and don't have to keep context switching like mentally. So yeah, I don't know. Like I was, since I got the first MPC live, I mean, I was like, I can see myself using this thing for 10 years. I used the MPC 1000 for close to 15 years. And actually never thought I would switch into another MPC, only because Akai started just making controllers. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't know that I wanted to go for a controller, never did. So I'm probably also not their target market for plenty of stuff. But okay, let's turn right off before I accidentally mess anything up. Let's go save. All right, this is where we're going to find if I have this bug or not. I'm just going to render this out because I got to start getting to like some other stuff. But I'm going to save project as, put a -2 in here just so I know that I have something, I fall back if I ever need to go back to something else. And this is the bug that I keep hitting. I thought they had fixed it for firmware 3 for the newest release, but if I go do audio mix down, you're probably going to hear it mute. Now, frequently when I've done this, I've been in the middle of the track, so it's at like bar 10 or something, just to see if this makes a difference. We're going to go bar 110, go menu, save, audio mix down. I think there might have been like a little echo or whatever. So we're going to leave the audio tail on. We're going to go export, save. once this is done, we're going to go play it because frequently I'm finding that this is an empty track the first time I go export it. So we'll see. An Akai Mini being missing. I don't know. I mean, they did the MPC 500, and I know had three of the MPC 500s. I keep thinking I might get it, go back and get it again, but I mean, the pads on it are pretty terrible. They would need to think about like how well they're going to strip it down, and I think an MPC Mini would be tough, predominantly because their software is now become so dependent on having a touch screen that and the important thing being that their ecosystem at this point all uses the same software slash firmware to run. I don't know that Akai would go put something out that is markedly different from this. So it would have to have a touch screen. I mean, maybe they could go OPZ style and you can use your phone as a screen to go control things, but that's pretty tough. The MPC-1, they could take that and, given newer processors and stuff, maybe cut it in half. I don't know. I'm on the SSD, not SD card. But I'm doing it wrong. Okay, places. SD. Projects. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's playing. Now, just for giggles, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to overwrite it. I'm just going to be in the middle bar here. I want to see what happens. I'm trying to see if I can figure out why this is an issue. Menu, save, audio mix down. Ding, ding, ding. We're going to go export. I'm going to just put a .1 here because, we'll do another -1. We'll go save. Because I'm trying to figure out like what is causing this problem so I can go report it. But it's not any use reporting a bug that's inconsistent or you don't know how to reproduce, other than like I go do stuff for an hour or two and then like it just doesn't work. That doesn't really help much for getting things fixed. Yeah, this is about as small as I would go. I actually appreciate them making some of the fonts and icons and things a little bit bigger and just organizing it a little bit better. So yeah, I don't need to have a microscope to function on it. And I don't think they can get something down to like the SP404 Mark II size. I don't. Maybe they could, but like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna make the buttons smaller, maybe. Like you can get rid of the speaker if you want. Like I don't think like on something that size you necessarily need speakers. I actually like that. I think it's a great feature on the live here, but I don't know why it's been doing that. Okay, well, I'm a liar. I thought I was going to have the problem. I had it yesterday on stream, but it is absolutely gone. Um, hmm. Well, I guess I'm gonna probably drop here and start getting all this stuff uploaded and posted wherever it needs to go and all that fun stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.